My name is Sopan Khani. I'm VP of Plug and Play IoT and Mobility, and super excited to be your host today and have you guys for day 3 of Summer Summit. How many of you guys were here for day 1? Okay. How many day 2? More day 2. Wonderful. So for those of you who weren't here, in day 1, we covered 2 of our programs, energy and sustainability and health and wellness. And yesterday, we covered InsurTech, travel, and enterprise. Today, for day 3, we're going to start with my favorite program, mobility, and I will introduce some of my colleagues from other international offices that we have to join me on stage, give you guys a quick update about what we do in different offices. For those of you who don't know Plug and Play and what we do, in general, we covered 14 different innovation platforms that you can see them all here. The reason we do this, we want our corporate members to come in, see different industries, different programs that we have around the world and connect with the startups. And this is a proven model. You can see we have Fortune 500 companies from around the world joining us for these innovation platforms. What I really want to focus on today is our global perspective. And that's why I asked my colleagues to join me today. As you can see, we have 25 offices worldwide, and I really want to encourage you to go attend different conferences, different events that we have in other locations, and take advantage of this global program we built in the past couple of years. Very briefly about mobility, I really want to thank our corporate members who join us today and help us to select these startups. Every 6 months, with the help of corporate members, we typically select about 20 startups from the pool of about 500. And today, with mobility, you're going to see 12 of them presenting to you. But without corporate members, we couldn't be here. So I want to thank every one of you who joined us today and helped us in the past 6 months to select these startups. Very briefly, with our mobility program, today is a batch 4. So we do this every 6 months, and so far we had 90 startups going through our programs, specifically in the mobility space, and we had 3 acquisitions so far. In terms of the portfolio, 13% of these startups, we actually invested in them, so the rest of them, they go through the program for free. But the main point I want to focus on is about the money they raised. So this is public information that all the startups that went through the program, they raised overall of $800 million. So this is success of the program from our perspective. And we want to get help from you guys to embrace these new technologies, work with them, invest in them, and maybe even have acquisition through them. And last part, from this batch 4, so far from March to May, we had more than 700 startup to corporate introductions. So that shows the importance of the program and what we're achieving here. And last part, only 213 introduction through deal flow session. So these introduction happens through office hour, deal flow session, selection day, and all different events that we have at Plug and Play. Last part, you can compare the stage breakdown of the startups that we have in the program. So this is comparing last batch in December. We had a demo day for them, comparing to this batch, batch 4. And as you can see, the program is pretty stage agnostic. It's not only for early stage startups. And more we see more even distribution of startups from seed to early to growth stage. And this is what we're proud of, because later stage startups, they're usually able to work more closely with corporate members, and this is one of what we want to have combination of early and growth stage startups in the program. With that, my favorite part for today that I wanted to focus on more, different locations that we have worldwide for mobility and IoT. We have Germany, we have China, we have Singapore, we have Japan, and hopefully soon we're thinking about opening office in Detroit. And I want to start inviting my colleague. And I want to start with Japan office, my colleague Philip Vincent, managing partner of Plug and Play Tokyo office, to join me on the stage.
Thank you, Sopan. So I'd like to introduce our Japan office. It's one of, I guess, if not the newest mobility office that we have. We opened up the office November 1st. We started kind of our activity back in September, but this Plug and Play Shibuya office was opened up November 1st. We've been kind of doing a lot of activity, running programs there since then. And we are running 4 different programs there right now. Besides mobility, we're doing fintech and insurtech and IoT. And we ran one program so far called Batch 0. That was kind of our beta program from December to February. And now we're about to launch Batch 1, actually next week. And we're going to be accelerating 54 startups during the summer between June and September. For mobility specifically, our partners in Japan include Nissan, Denso, Sampo Insurance, MUFG, that's Mitsubishi Bank, and then that's in Japanese there, but Toki Real Estate as well. And there are 5 partners out of the 14 partners total that we have in Japan. For mobility specifically, we're going to be accelerating 15 startups during the summer. And we're going to have actually a kickoff event next week for you guys that are interested in coming to Japan. I know it's kind of last minute, but for June 20th, we'll be having a mobility kickoff at our office in Plug and Play Shibuya. We'll have about 200 to 300 people there, 15 or so startups coming. Sopan will be there too, and a couple of other team members. And Expo for Batch 1 will be September 5 and also 6. So with that, a very brief update of Japan, but if you guys are interested in learning more, please come talk to me during the event. So with that, I'll pass it along to the next person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you. Wonderful. So next one, I want to ask my colleague Peter, president of Plug and Play China, to also join me on the stage.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Peter. I think I will take a few minutes explaining about how we run the program in China. I think maybe some of you already joined the program in the past 2 years since we landed in China 2.5 years ago. So far, we are in 8 cities. So headquartered in Beijing, and also we have city office in Shanghai. We run the automotive program, a couple of the other verticals in Shanghai. And also we had a Shenzhen presence, plus Chongqing, the rest of the other cities. So once you want to either to see the ecosystem in China, you want to open your business in China, looking for ecosystem startup in China, welcome to China. Quick one about mobility program, which is the most earlier batch program we launched in China since 2.5 years ago. So we have around a couple of the anchor and the eco partner joined the program already in China. And this will be the multinational company, but also this couple of the local company. And they are great combination. And we drive already 6 batch in the past 2 years. And we run 2 automotive Autobahn in China, Beijing, together with Daimler. And also we had launched 2 batch for the overall, like here, the accelerator program with around 10 eco and anchor partner in Beijing and Shanghai. And we also sponsored a very successful program for AI Bosch accelerator program in Shanghai. So altogether, in past 2 years, that's the figure for this year. And we launched around the 25 deal flow. But more important, I think the partner in China is looking for deeper dive and deeper deal and also connection with the startups. So they are not looking for the deal flow, but also trying to see the pilot run. So we have a great pilot run since 2 years, around 80 pilot runs for the program. Quick snapshot for the last batch. Actually, this is the first half of this year. And you see around 6 anchor partners joined the program. And we sourcing, based on also their tech points, we're sourcing around 300 plus startups, and we're scouting. And then Expo will happen very soon, and also that will be the focusing on the technology and in China. A quick one about how we present in China mobility program, because China is a little bit spatial. So we opened the program in Beijing together with the Daimler, couple of the BAIC, which is the largest company in China. But also we opened the program in Shanghai. And a couple of our partner, Hella, Continental, Michelin, they had a quite good place in Shanghai. And meanwhile, we're trying to open the cooperating with the South China, Middle China, and North China, together with the largest, the national level innovation center, and to focusing on the new energy vehicle, but also the electricity cars. So that's the program looks like. On the other hand, I think most beautiful things for Plug and Play can provide in the platform is not only they providing the program in Silicon Valley, but also China. Still get the thing is we can flow each other. So we had a great discussion, and with Sopan and also the team here. And once you will have your startup or corporate entering to China, and we are there. Welcome to China. Thank you. Thank you, Seban.
Thank you, Peter. Wonderful. And next one, Jup Tan, my colleague from Asia Pacific.
Thanks, Hopan. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jup. I manage our activities for the rest of APAC outside of China and Japan. So the Singapore office is our regional headquarters, and it started as an investment office domiciling most of our regional investments in Southeast Asia. To date, we have around 40 plus startup investments that we have done out of that office. Startup Autobahn Singapore is a little bit different. So it started as a satellite program that kind of was an offshoot from the main program in Stuttgart. And we partner at the moment with Daimler, but the program is opening up. In the last two batches, it's interesting because when we started talking to Daimler in Singapore, they said, look, we are not interested in the latest, greatest technologies that can get into the vehicle because we cannot get a startup that works on something in the vehicle through the Singapore office. We have to send them to Stuttgart anyway. But we want to focus on things that are relevant to their business and their ecosystem in the region. So the focus over the first two batches has been things like customer experience, retail, in-store experience, sales, pre-sales, after-sales, and so on and so forth. So in the two batches that we've done, 14 startups have been accelerated, 9 pilots, 2 moving from pilots to commercialization. We are happy to announce that the third batch is starting. So we are doing recruitment for the third batch of startups now, and we are now opening up the program to corporates that are interested in joining Startup Autobahn out of Singapore. So with that, just let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to look for me or my colleagues, and welcome to Singapore as well.
Perfect. Wonderful. So if you guys want to travel around the world, we have so many programs worldwide, so definitely come join us. And next one, Andy, Director of Investment from Germany office in Stuttgart.
Hi everyone, Andy. I manage the ventures team in Germany, and so I wanted to show 3 slides. This one is a snapshot of our program in Stuttgart, Startup Autobahn, which we started with a couple of my colleagues about 2 years ago. And as you can see, we started small with 13 startups in the first batch, and by kind of setting up the right structure and working with the right startups and corporations, in terms of startups, mostly startups with market-ready products and mature technologies, we were able to help roughly about 90 startups across 4 programs and do about 180 pilots to date together with the partners. And as you can see, some of the startups are quite later stage in our programs. Some of them were rather small when they joined, like Autonomo, for example, and Innoviz. They were before their Series A rounds. After the program, they were able to raise substantial capital and expand their business. And some of them were already mature when they joined our programs. So if you are a startup in the mobility space and you would like to work in Germany, engage with the partners there, I encourage you to apply to the program and talk to Tarek, my colleague, or myself, and we are more than happy to explain how we work in Germany. The same goes for the corporates in the audience. Today we have 17 partners in Stuttgart, and we are still open to work with more corporations. So if you would like to sit at the table with some of the OEMs and tier ones and other partners, and kind of see how they engage with startups and approach innovation, please come talk to me afterwards. I'm happy to share more about our program there. Thank you.
Startup Autobahn.
Hello everybody and welcome to Startup Autobahn.
Today's event is all about our 20 plus startups that are pitching right now.
Please welcome your host here on stage, the chairman of the board of Daimler AG, Dr. Dieter Zetsche.
Stuttgart is the perfect match, bringing together OEMs in the car industry, suppliers, and universities and schools.
Never stop challenging. I think that's a good motto for a day like this with Startup Autobahn. So what do we want to do? We want to bundle strengths to reach out and hopefully gain access to the best technologies around the world that we will put into our product and services.
Startup Autobahn is not like any other program. They don't just want to show you off, and they don't want to just say we're working with these exciting startups. They actually want to build something. This is an opportunity to genuinely reach the decision makers. So basically my advice for a startup is do it, be in the program.
We are at Stuttgart, Germany, and welcome to Startup Autobahn.
It's a very established platform with a lot of experience, especially from Plug and Play. We at Porsche are very proud to be partner from Startup Autobahn, and we get new expertise to challenge it with our project ideas, and therefore we get a new spirit for our work.
So seeing 28 startup pitches, all in all, especially the quality of the ideas is improving from each event to the next one.
At Porsche, we really love competition, so we think the more partners we have on board, the better it is for the program. So please join Startup Autobahn, we love to have you on board.
An open platform means having more corporates on board, which means having a more attractive program for the startups. And this is what we want, attracting the best startups worldwide to join Startup Autobahn.
So that's the beauty of Startup Autobahn. That's the access to a constant stream of such innovations. And this can really be integrated into our customer solutions. And we are really happy being part of that.
We have had more than 60 pilots in the last 100 days. And quite frankly, that does not happen, I would say, anywhere else in the world.
Wonderful. I know some of you guys have seen this video so many times, but the reason I played it is because we're trying to do what we achieved in Stuttgart with Mercedes, with Porsche, to do the same thing here in US with Detroit. And what we're trying to do is connect the software of Silicon Valley to hardware of Detroit. After we're done with traveling around the world, I think we really want to focus on the events we're trying to do on July 11th next month in Detroit to basically achieve these goals of connecting software of Silicon Valley to hardware of Detroit. And with that, I would love to invite Trevor from MEDC to join me on the stage.
Good morning, everybody. I said good morning, everybody. So my name is Trevor Paul. I'm Group Vice President for Mobility Initiatives for the state of Michigan. And before I want to get started into this, and we'll get into this, I want to take 30 seconds. There's a chance that the person sitting next to you or the person behind you in front of you have not met yet. And so in the spirit of Michigan being America's high five, right, I want you to turn to that person you don't know and give them a high five. Bobby, show me how to do it. Come on up. Come on up. Boom. 30 seconds. Go. I think someone just got hit in the face. I just think, awesome. Okay, so just like you're sitting here today in Palo Alto, about 100 years ago, startup founders like Walter Chrysler, the Dodge brothers, Henry Ford, Louis Chevrolet, they kind of sat in a similar room, similar event, same vibe, same energy, just a couple of startups, a couple of investors, and a couple of corporates, talking about the future of the world and the future of mobility. Really, the only difference between you and them is time and space. The truth is, Silicon Valley, Singapore, Stuttgart, Shanghai, they have a lot in common with Detroit. See, in Detroit's case, whether it's first paved road, 3-color traffic signals, or collision avoidance technology, our job is to take startup technology and bring it to the masses, produce it for the masses. And that's why today, 96 of the top 100 automotive suppliers in the world have a presence in Michigan, whether it's corporate, R&D, or manufacturing. 10 OEMs, same, corporate, manufacturing, R&D presence in Michigan. So Plug and Play came to us and said, yo, that's what Saeed did. He was like to our governor, he's like, yo, we got to do something in Michigan. So this is what we got for you. July 11th, one day, invitation only. It's going to have a very similar feel as this event. So there's going to be an opportunity to hear pitches, but also one-on-one meetings. And besides these logos, the corporates that are attending are sick. And you should see the titles of some of these corporate members that are going to be attending. I'm going to read a couple of the corporates outside of these. Magna, Jaguar, Aptiv, BASF, Bosch, Valeo, Visteon, General Motors, Denso, Lear, Schengen, Mann & Hummel, AM General, Hella, Intel, Continental, Quicken Loans, Flex, Gentex, Harman, Mahindra, Magneti Marelli, Mala, Motherson, Nextier, Roush, Sherwin-Williams, Svoboda, and Subaru. How can you miss that? Book your flight today. So, there's gonna be a reception July 10th, full day of event July 11th. Johannes, my brother from another mother, come on up. From a plug-and-play perspective, what else, what have I missed?
Wow, 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 what an energy. I think that's why we have to go to Detroit. Yeah, we have been working on our Detroit extension for the last 6 months. It's fantastic to work with the guys from Planet M and MADC and Governor Rick Snyder. I think it's really great to see, like we just saw, like with our other locations in Germany, in China, in Japan, Singapore, what we achieved there in the mobility space. And we feel there's still some locations missing to have like a real global mobility platform. And one of the obvious ones for us is Detroit. I mean, after this presentation here, I think there's no doubt anymore that we have to go there. There's so much vibe going on there. But we really want to do the same thing we do in Stuttgart. We want to bring global mobility startups local to Detroit to connect them with the corporations there, with the local corporations, to really accelerate the pilot projects, to really get the startups engaged in the community there. And like Trevor said, we have a great event on July 11th. There's 60 corporates confirmed so far. I think we're shooting for over 100 different corporates. I think there's over 50, 60 startups confirmed so far, so there will be pitch sessions in the morning, and in the afternoon we have one-on-one meetings with the startups. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, or Trevor, happy to tell you more about that.
All right, Johannes, we've basically given him the key to the city already. He's the M&M of mobility. The M&M of mobility, Johannes. All right, so in closing, guys, and beyond the event, I mean, we're totally 100% in support mode of what Plug and Play is trying to do in Detroit. Beyond the event, we have this state program called Planet M, and it was built to help startups. So we have grant programs that'll cover up to 75% of operating costs for pilots, if you want to do a real-world deployment and have a partner. We also release RFPs and challenges all the time. One that we just released is the $8 million Michigan Mobility Challenge. By the end of the year, we're going to launch a series of mobility pilots around the state that help persons with disabilities, veterans, and seniors. So we're always trying to think outside of the box. It's not good enough to be ahead of the curve. We got to define it. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Soban. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Johannes. I think it's hard to follow after his energy and what he mentioned on the stage. But anyway, so I want to introduce 3 corporate members who recently, in the past couple of months, to also join me on the stage and say a few words, what they're looking for and what are they here in Plug and Play in Silicon Valley. With that, I would love to invite Manji Suzuki from Denso, one of our new partners in Silicon Valley and also Tokyo.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. My name is Manji Suzuki from Denso, and I'm Vice President Innovation of the Denso International America. And we are very happy to be here as a partner, and I'm afraid I will take half of the day to introduce Denso in detail. So today I don't have any time, so I'd like to share 3 good reasons why you should contact to me or contact to Denso. Okay? The first one is Denso is a very good gateway to automotive industry because we have many great OEMs as a customer, like Toyota. So you don't need to contact to independently. So Denso is a platform to entry to the automotive industry. The second one is we are currently a $50 billion company. Why? we have good people, we have good technology, and we have good product, okay? And we have good manufacturing plant. You can access Denso's such asset if you work with Denso. So it's very fantastic for you. And the third one, the last one, is very most important one. If you have a project with Denso, you can have an opportunity to visit beautiful country, Japan. That's a very strong motivation for you, okay? And currently, I am working in the plug and play box 2085 on the second floor, basically on Friday. So I will be very happy to have your contact and today and every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. And next one, I promise, this is the end of it. I think it's become like an MC for startups. Now we have corporate and all the colleagues from around the world. But Brock Fraser from Borg Warner.
Good morning, everyone. First, a thanks to Plug and Play for this great event. We're excited to be here and excited to hear the pitches this morning. So my name is Brock Fraser. Borg Warner is a Fortune 500 automotive supplier. Tier 1, so that means we make car parts. That's the simple version of that story. Specifically, the propulsion system components. So whether it's for a combustion vehicle or an electric vehicle, we make the car move. So we joined Plug and Play roughly 2 months ago. And our mission there is to seek startups that can help fill out our product portfolio. So we're looking for engagements that'll help both us and the startup succeed in that way. Also looking for disruptive forces that we just need to be watching as stewards of the company. So I've been with the company for 17 years. My specialties are turbochargers and high-speed electric motors. Please stop by and visit me at Plug and Play. I'm there on Fridays, like my friend from Denso. And yeah, please stop by. I'm on the second floor over there near the Fremont and Milpitas conference rooms. Stop by and say hi, and we'll talk about car stuff. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brock. And last corporate member, I want to introduce one of our favorite partners, Tommy-san from Toyota Financial Services.
Good morning, everyone. And thanks for Plug and Play to make this opportunity to join this meeting. And I just checked my memo that my members gave me to not forget the important points, okay? Okay. We just signed up with the FinTech Open Innovation Program with Plug and Play, and we are so excited to be the open window for Toyota, just not for FinTech, maybe for much more as a connected product that we already started as a use-based insurance and mobility service area that we are already collaborating. You may know for 2 years we collaborate with Uber and Grab. Maybe you saw the big news day before yesterday, the big investment from Toyota. And I was in charge of the window guy for those collaborations. And our team, Strategic Innovation Division, is cross-function global team that we run all the businesses for innovations. And one thing I have to say is, for like a pilot with rideshare companies like Uber and Lyft in the United States, in Los Angeles, we collaborate with a startup called Launch Mobility to do our hourly rental program with Uber drivers. And we wanted to make these things much more bigger. And the reason we launched this program is, I thought like this. If I'm a CEO of a good startup like you guys and wants to work with Toyota, and just Suzuki-san said, maybe Denso is an opportunity to be a platform gateway. But as you can imagine, there is so many people in department in Toyota. 350,000 people working, and you will never reach out to the right person. And then you will think that, forget about Toyota, let's go to Ford. Okay. Maybe Daimler is better because you're doing good. Okay. And of course, there's so many Japanese like me, and maybe you think that they cannot understand my words. And so, yes. So I brought Jason here. Can you stand up? I believe he's a good-looking. I'm not allowed to say good-looking in the office now. There's harassment problems. But I choose the best-looking guy in my team, and another best good-looking guy from Japan that he's working in Plano, Yugo. And so if there is anything that you want to reach out with me, we want to be the window of Just Not TFS. We will reach out you guys to the right person in the globe. Just Not Financial Services. I'm double capping with TMC, and I will do it my best. And if there's a different questions, especially in English, please go to Jason. And I believe there's so many Japanese here today, and if it's in Japanese, please go to Yugo. And if it's easy problems, and if you just want to have fun, please reach out to me. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I think this was the funniest opening remark that we had so far in the entire history of Plug and Play. But anyway, thank you for all the corporate members, all the colleagues who joined us on the stage. And last thing I want to say, so basically the last 3 batches, we had a keynote speaker from Ford, from BMW, and from Toyota. And there are a lot of hypes around autonomous driving, obviously. But we believe all these different trends in mobility comes down to one trend, which is a future of interior design of the car. And with that, I'm really excited to invite Han Hendricks, CTO of Yangfang, to join us on the stage and also share his thought, what he thinks about future of automotive and interior design of the car. With that, Han Hendricks from Yangfang.